We're going to graph quadratics using vertex and a value. Okay. Quickly, I'm going to show you what I mean by a value with just some letters. When we're talking about a value, x, subtract. The a value is the term in front of these two brackets in this form. This is considered factored form, okay? And they used to use letters like R and S in here, and those had to do with x-intercepts. So, if you looked at these, this information right here, the +3 and the -5, they're actually giving us the x-intercepts. Okay? One way to solve it is to set each bracket equal to 0, because remember, x-intercepts you set equal to 0. Remember, I said I wanted to do the vertex way, so I'm going to tell you the shortcut. Anyone remember the shortcut we're looking at, Mark?
Separate x+3.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it flips around. So what Mark's telling us here is he would normally take this over, x+3, set it equal to 0, and then x becomes -3. Well, another way we can look at that is this was +3, and the answer we get is -3. So really we're looking at the opposite sign. This only works if there's technically the number 1 in front of the x. If that had been a different number, this little trick doesn't work. Okay? I purposely gave you a simple one so we could use that trick. So, what that means is we have one of the points is at -3 on the x-axis. So here. And another point is the opposite of this at +5. Okay? Now remember, we need to find the vertex. Well, since I have 2 points, if you recall, a parabola is either up or down. And if I'm on the same y value, the vertex is going to be directly in the middle of those 2 numbers. Okay? So a way we can find the x value of the vertex is by adding the 2 together and dividing by 2. Okay? So remember we had -3 and +5. We're going to take -3, add it to +5, and divide by 2. That gives us what's called the axis of symmetry. Okay? It's also the x value of the vertex. We add these 2 together, we're going to get 2 divided by 2, 1. Okay, so I know the middle of this parabola. The middle of this parabola crosses this line here. Okay, in other words, the x value of the vertex is through that line. I need to find my y value of the vertex. Well, in order to do that, I'm going to take that number 1, and I'll use a different color. I'm going to take that number 1 and plug it into the x values in this question. So y is equal to 1 + 3 and 1 - 5. That's going to give us 4 times -4, which gives us -16. I unfortunately didn't make the graph big enough. Sorry about that. Okay, so -10, let's say 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That would be down here. So this would be our vertex. And we come up and essentially connect the dots here. Okay? So once we have the vertex and 2 other points, we can just draw the graph from there. Okay? So that's how you're going to go about solving it this way when given that form.